From the fire of Malcolm X to the silence surrounding Ibrahim Traoré, the black resistance has never died, it has only evolved. Across continents and centuries, voices rise, fists lift, and truth refuses to bow. This is not a memory, this is a movement. The new black resistance has begun. Welcome to Black Voice USA, where we speak the truths others won't. We bridge the global black experience, past and present, through stories, voices, and resistance. We honor the legacy, expose the injustice, and amplify the revolution. This is not media. This is movement. This is Black Voice USA. Malcolm X was never meant to survive the system. He was born inside its margins, and yet he rose above it with fire in his voice. He stood behind no podium of privilege, no shield of acceptance. What he had was clarity, courage, and a deep, unwavering truth that black people had the right, not the privilege, to freedom, to justice, to dignity. In his time, he was feared more than he was celebrated. The media labeled him a radical. The government watched his every move. And still, he spoke. He spoke for the child in the ghetto, whose schoolbook still bore the name of a child from a better zip code. He spoke for the father fired for speaking up. He spoke for the mother who wept silently at night after yet another brush with a system designed to crush her. His words weren't soft, they weren't easy, but they were true. And truth, real, unfiltered truth, is revolutionary. Now, decades later, another name enters the bloodline of resistance, Ibrahim Traoré. He wasn't a global icon, he didn't speak from podiums, but like Malcolm, he carried within him the weight of centuries of injustice. On the day he died in police custody in France, the system hoped his name would vanish into silence. But his sister, Assa Traoré, had other plans. She picked up the torch. She turned her grief into fury, her fury into action, and her action into a movement. She dared to stand where she was told to sit. She dared to speak where she was told to mourn quietly. And, like Malcolm's voice, hers refused to be silenced. This is the evolution of resistance, not confined to one country, not bound to one movement, but global, digital, generational. The same fire that fueled Malcolm now fuels the children chanting Adama's name in the streets of Paris. It fuels the students in Johannesburg who study both African liberation and the Black Panthers. It fuels the creators in Brazil who remix protest speeches into trap beats. It fuels the mothers in Oakland and Lagos who share the same fear that their sons might not come home. The resistance has not weakened, it has evolved. Back in the 1960s, Malcolm X exposed the myth of American democracy by showing the world how democracy failed black people. He showed that freedom was not the default, it was a demand. He challenged integration without power, peace without justice, change without accountability. Today, Ibrahim Traoré's story reminds us that the same lies still exist, only in different languages. In French, they call it égalité. In America, they call it liberty. But for the black community in the banlieues of Paris and the black community in Brooklyn, the outcome is the same: underfunded schools, over-policed neighborhoods, and state-sanctioned violence that rarely sees a courtroom. On Black Voice USA, we make these connections clear. We don't just tell you what happened, we tell you why it happened. Why Adama's death wasn't just one officer's decision, but the result of a legacy of colonial policing. Why Malcolm's assassination wasn't just political, it was strategic, a silencing of a voice that had begun uniting black people across continents. Why modern movements are labeled riots and chaos, when in truth, they are the natural response to generations of trauma. Let's be clear. This new resistance is not about revenge. It's about truth. It's about dignity. It's about power reclaimed, not borrowed. And the new face of resistance? It doesn't wear a suit. It might wear a hoodie. It might speak in slang. It might live stream a protest. It might write poetry on walls. It might sing in Zulu, Arabic, French, or Creole. But make no mistake, it is organized. It is aware. It is ready. We are witnessing a shift. A rise. In the past, resistance looked like sit-ins and speeches. Today, it looks like community bail funds, like abolitionist policy blueprints, like protests coordinated on encrypted messaging apps. It looks like youth-led town halls, like Black therapists building healing spaces, like digital creators exposing injustice frame by frame. Resistance today isn't always loud, but it's never absent. And if you listen closely, you'll hear Malcolm's words in every corner of this uprising. You'll hear them in the chants in Ferguson, in the poetry of Brixton, in the graffiti of Port-au-Prince, in the silence held for the dead in Lagos, in the courtroom testimony in Paris. Because the truth is, Black pain has no borders, and neither does Black resistance. Malcolm once said, "You can't have capitalism without racism," and today that quote hits harder than ever. Because the same corporations that once redlined Black neighborhoods now market Black Lives Matter hoodies. The same media that feared Malcolm now sells documentaries about him. The same system that ignored Adama's death now offers diversity seminars. But we see through it. We don't want performative change. We want structural change. And to get that, we need to remember, Malcolm didn't just critique America, he offered strategy. He spoke of self-defense, self-education, self-determination. He traveled to Africa, to Mecca, to build coalitions. He understood that Black liberation could never be local. It had to be global. Ibrahim Traoré's case proves that. His death sparked protests not only in France, but in Belgium, in Canada, in Senegal, in Haiti. His name became a symbol not just of injustice, but of international solidarity. And that is the core of this new resistance. We're not just demanding justice for one man, we're demanding transformation for an entire people. We're not just responding to violence, we're building systems of care. We're not just calling out racism, we're calling in community. We are reclaiming our history, our bodies, our narratives, our futures. And platforms like Black Voice USA exist to amplify that reclamation. We spotlight the Black women lawyers rewriting laws to protect protesters, the student coalitions rewriting curriculums that still erase Africa, the artists using AR and VR to recreate slave ships so history can never be whitewashed again, the mothers forming mutual aid networks where the state continues to fail them. This resistance is not passive, it's powerful, and it's intergenerational. We stand on the shoulders of giants, but we're not afraid to grow taller. We learn from the past without being chained to it. Malcolm X taught us that truth is non-negotiable. Traoré reminds us that the system still fears truth. And we, in this new era, know that truth must be louder than ever. But truth alone is not enough. We need action. That's why we vote. We protest. We heal. We create. We protect each other. We build what we were told we'd never have: power, pride, peace. We are not victims. We are architects. We are not statistics. We are strategies. We are not hashtags. We are histories in motion. This is our moment, and we refuse to let it slip by. Because for every Malcolm silenced, 10 more voices rise. For every Adama taken, 10 more step forward. We are the ones they tried to break. We are the ones who won't stop. This is the new Black resistance. We are organized. We are unapologetic. We are revolutionary. This is Black Voice USA, and we're just getting started. We are living through a pivotal moment in history where the lessons of Malcolm and the cries of Traoré intersect with modern technology, culture, and international solidarity. The Black resistance today is multifaceted. It is legal battles, community building, cultural expression, and digital activism all at once. It is a living, breathing force refusing to be contained or co-opted. This is our moment, and we refuse to let it slip by. Because for every Malcolm silenced, 10 more voices rise. For every Adama taken, 10 more step forward. We are the ones they tried to break. We are the ones who won't stop. This is the new Black resistance. We are organized. We are unapologetic. We are revolutionary. This is Black Voice USA, and we're just getting started.